Hi everyone, hope you're all doing great today. So welcome to PW OnlyIAS YouTube channel, and yes, we are here with the sixth chapter, that is Union and Territory. So without any further delay, plunging right into it. But before that, once again, this is my official Telegram channel, people. Any queries that you have with regard to public administration or Indian polity, or even if when it comes to submitting your answers of PYQs of PABAT from 2013 or of GS paper 2 from 2013, well, this is the channel for it. Now, Union of States. So what is this all about? Article 1, India, that is Bharat, is a union of states. Means what? The union that we talk about here simply means it is not as per an agreement that all the states came together and they decided to form a country called India. But in USA, it was like that. In USA, the states came together, they formed an agreement, and then they formed the United States of America. Getting the point there? So it was an agreement there, but in India, there is no such agreement. That means in USA, if a state decides, that is, they want to secede from USA, they want to become independent, it is very much possible. Whereas in India, no state has the power to secede from India. That is, they cannot say tomorrow that, oh, I don't want to be a part of India. I want to be a completely independent state or a completely independent country. That is impossible. Getting the point here? So very quickly, the word federation has not been used anywhere in the Constitution. And it is not like the American Federation. You cannot secede from it. Federation is a union because it is indestructible. That is the point here. India is an indestructible union of destructible states. That means the state's name, state's territory, state's area, state's boundary, all of this can be changed. But the union will remain as it is. It has been divided into different states for administrative convenience. What has been divided? The entire union. Again, it has been divided for what? For administrative convenience. Article 1 talks about the territory of India, territories of the states, union territories, and territories that may be acquired by the government of India anytime. Territory of the states, territory of the union territory, and territory of any other area that is acquired. How? Through cession, like treaty, purchase, gift, lease, or plebiscite. Occupation, that is, it was an unoccupied by recognized ruler. Hitherto means till now. Till now, nobody has occupied it. We went and occupied it. Conquest or subjugation. So can you give me an example of a territory that we took over by conquest? I'll give you a small clue for this. Operation Meghadoot. Can you tell me which territory it was? Put it in the comment section. Schedule 1 of the Constitution. So Schedule 1, Schedule 2, we saw different schedules in our earlier chapters. Schedule 1, it was all about the Union of India, the states and the union territories. It is that provision of the Constitution applicable to all except Part 21. Special provision is applicable to the states of Maharashtra, Gujarat, Nagaland, Assam, Manipur, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Sikkim, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, Goa, and Karnataka. And they override the general provisions relating to the states as a class. So what is this exception under Part 21? Basically, it comes under Article 371, which was not originally part of the Constitution. The purpose of making this article or the purpose of having this exception under Part 21 basically is for what purpose? It is basically for protecting the interests of those people from the backward areas. All right. Socioeconomically backward, to protect them, this special provision has been created. Then you have the 5th schedule, 6th schedule, which are again exceptions. We know administration of tribal areas and scheduled areas, scheduled tribes and scheduled areas. Then 6th schedule, we have obviously administration of the areas or the scheduled areas in Assam, Tripura, Mizoram, Meghalaya. Article 2, power of the Parliament. To admit into the Union of India new states, to establish new states. So establishing new states, admitting new states, both comes under the power of the Parliament under Article 2. Article 3, changes in existing states, internal readjustment. that is internal readjustment of a state, that comes under Article 3. What is it about? So what does it mean? Form a new state by separation of territory from any state, uniting two or more states or parts of states, or by uniting any territory to a part of any state. That means you can separate a territory out from a state and form a new state, or unite two or more states or two or more territories also, then uniting territory to a part of a state. So first you take a part, you can take a part out, or you can bring parts together and create a state, or you can join a territory and create a new state. Clear? That means you can increase or diminish the area, you can alter the boundaries and name. These many things you can do. And a bill recommending any of these three can be introduced only in the Parliament with the prior recommendation of the President. And if with the prior recommendation of the President, one more clause is there here. President has to refer the same to the state legislature for expressing their views within a specified time period. That means particular state's boundary is going to be altered or name is going to be altered. President can seek the views of the existing legislative assembly there. What is your opinion on this? But interestingly, President is not bound by any suggestion or advice given by them. Getting the point here? And once you have decided to make a change, it is not necessary that each and every time you have to keep asking them, taking their permission. This was ruled in the Babulal versus State of Bombay. Not necessary to make a fresh reference. Not necessary to make a fresh reference to the state every time an amendment to the bill is moved in the Parliament. Every time you are making a small change to the bill, you need not take the state's permission. Once you have taken, more than sufficient. Clearly, it shows what? The union is strong here. The center is strong. So even though that is why we keep using the term quasi-federal. That is, even though it may look like a federation, it is a federation with a strong central government or a union government. Clear, people? Moving on. So with states we saw, you can add territory, you can take away territory, you can join territories or join states to form a new state. What about union territory? For union territory, no consultation is required. Obviously, because union territory is directly ruled by the central government. So why do you need permission actually? Clear? This simply means Parliament can redraw the political map of India. Once again, we are going back to that initial sentence. India is an indestructible union of destructible states. Territorial integrity of state not guaranteed by the Constitution. That is the point here. Territorial integrity, that is the state's boundaries are sacrosanct. You are not supposed to touch it. There is no such protection given anywhere in the Constitution. Union can destroy states, not vice versa. That is the point. Any number of states can be destroyed. And tomorrow, if the union decides, okay, let us merge two states, A and B together, they can do it. Obviously, it will affect the overall law and order and the peace of the country, but powers are there. It is not possible in USA. Any alteration with regard to the territory is not considered as a constitutional amendment. So alteration with regard to territory, you are making a small change there, changing the boundary, changing the name. These are not constitutional amendments. These are passed in the Parliament like simple laws, like ordinary laws. That means passed by simple majority and ordinary legislative process. That's it. All right. However, what about ceding territory? You're giving it away to another country. Ceding territory requires constitutional amendment as per Article 368. Ceding of Berubari Union by the 9th Constitutional Amendment 1960. You're giving it away to another country. That means you need the permission of the people of India. For that, it should be passed in the Parliament like a constitutional amendment under Article 368. Settlement of boundary dispute do not require constitutional amendment. It is executive action. So if it is a settlement of boundary dispute, you don't require what? Constitutional amendment. But let us say in that settlement itself, some ceding away is there, giving away is there. Again, you will require what? Constitutional amendment. Taking it further forward. Exchange of territories with Bangladesh. 100 Constitutional Amendment Act 2015, acquiring and transfer of territories between India and Bangladesh. 100 Constitutional Amendment 2015. What is it about? You are basically acquiring as well as transferring territories with which country? Bangladesh. Because you're ceding away territory, it involves what? Constitutional amendment. India to Bangladesh, 111 enclaves gave. Bangladesh to India, we gained 51 enclaves. Transfer of adverse possessions. Adverse possession simply means this was a very tricky case. That is, let us say this is under India. This will be under Bangladesh. The next one will be under India. So how are you going to put the ruling? How did it end up like this? Each one of them were either under a princely state or some zamindar. So finally at the time of partition, when the kings decided, okay, I will join India, I will join Pakistan. This is the end result what we got. It was so bizarre. Region within a region, in that again another region. So we gave away whatever adverse possessions we had. Demarcation of 6.1 kilometer undemarcated stretch. 6.1 kilometer of area was not decided, like whom does it belong to. The amendment modified the provisions relating to the territories of 4 states. Which are those 4 states? No surprises: Assam, West Bengal, Meghalaya, Tripura. West Bengal, Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura. Clear? Taking it further forward. Radcliffe Award of 1947 basically decided the partition, like what will go to India, what will go to East Pakistan, West Pakistan, etc. Bagay Award 1950 to settle disputes that arose from the Radcliffe Award. That was the Bagay Award. So Bagay Award was basically to rectify the errors or the disputes involving Radcliffe Award. Again, Radcliffe Award is what? Demarcating the border or territory. Then you had a Nehru-Noon Agreement of 1958. Again, to settle this border disputes. Berubari Union 1960. 9th Constitutional Amendment couldn't be notified in East Pakistan. That is the issue. So the 9th Constitutional Amendment, we passed it here, but it was not notified where in East Pakistan. So again, what happened? This exchange of territories did not go smoothly. Agreement between India and Bangladesh 1974 couldn't materialize as it required constitutional amendment again. So this is the rough history. So this lack of settling of border disputes since 1947 also can be considered as one of the predominant reasons for so many migrant come refugee issues between India and Bangladesh. Starts with Radcliffe, then Bagay Award, then Nehru-Noon Agreement, then you have the Berubari Union 9th Constitutional Amendment, then you have agreement between India and Bangladesh 1974. But even that also couldn't materialize because it required a constitutional amendment. And we know by 75 we had declared emergency. Protocol was signed in 2011, became the basis of land boundary agreement that had the support and concurrence of Assam, Tripura, Meghalaya, and West Bengal. So, ideally, is it necessary that center should consult the states? I mean, as per the constitution, not necessary. There is no provision that tells that center should consult the state governments when they have to cede away territory or acquire territory, because it is completely within the jurisdiction of the union government. But being a federation, it is always better that we ensure cooperative federalism. We take the states also into consideration. Best example. So the 4 state legislatures of West Bengal, Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, they were all taken up and we were all on the same page, and that is how the land boundary agreement came into picture. Now let us look into evolution of states and union territories. So how were the states formed? How were the union territories formed? What was the history to it? Not at all an easy task, I must say. Why? Because when India was finally getting independence, we were having multifarious issues. First one being obviously the partition. Muhammad Ali Jinnah was hell bent on getting a separate country. And finally, the Britishers also understood that it is better to go for partition because the bloodshed was so severe. This is happening on one side. Then, since 1858, if you see, Britishers stopped actually conquering territories. They allowed the princes or the rajas to continue to live in their own world as long as they accepted that British crown is supreme. The proper word for it is suzerainty. That is, you are accepting, yes, I am below the crown. They had no issues. So when at 1947, if you see, you had on one side British India, on another side you had princely states. And what is the number of princely states? It was roughly more than 500. Why 500 princely states? Some states were as very small, like maybe one district or two districts in size. That's it. Some were smaller than a district also. Some were very large, like the state of Hyderabad. Getting the point here. So it was a mess actually, administrative mess, one must say, because on one side you had to deal with British India. Fine, Britishers will leave. Then whatever territories were under the crown will no more be under the crown. They'll be called independent territories. But what about those regions which are under the kings? We have to bring it under the union. This was a headache. So one by one, this process was started up by none other than Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Now, how he managed to convince all those princes, going and meeting every one of them personally, offering something so that they will all sign the instrument of accession, IOA. That is, yes, we will join the Union of India. How he managed to do it, that information we don't have, because he has not written a single journal or a diary as to how he managed to do it. Because some of the kings were very bizarre. There was one king especially who will declare a public holiday in his region or in his territory whenever his dogs mated or whenever his dogs gave birth to a couple of puppies or whatever. And there were a lot of other kings also who used to indulge in dramas. All right. Glimpses of this you get here and there when you read the book Ramchandra Guha's India After Gandhi. All right. That is again another discussion altogether. But here let us come back to our topic, that is how these states started evolving. Two political units, British India and princely states. Princely states were given the option of either join India, Pakistan, or they could remain independent. 549 out of 552 princely states joined India. Three regions basically decided to stay independent, which were those Hyderabad, Junagadh, and Kashmir refused to join India. They joined later. Hyderabad through police action. The timing of it, brilliantly, it is again given in India After Gandhi. You can go through it. Junagadh through a referendum. That is basically taking the people's vote. What do you want? Where do you want to go for? Kashmir, instrument of accession. Raja Hari Singh signed the instrument of accession. Again, he signed it when Pakistani troops attacked Kashmir. Pakistan will never agree to it. According to Pakistani history textbooks, they say it was Indian Mujahideen. But eyewitness accounts as well as the presence of the then military there, not only Raja Hari Singh's forces, but also the Indian army who were there, they basically will say that it was not Mujahideen because the people whoever attacked, launched an attack on the state or on the territory of Raja Hari Singh, they were well equipped with all sorts of military weapons. All right. So the point here is when they attacked, India offered help, but one condition was kept: sign the instrument of accession. The full strength of the Indian government as well as the Indian army will be there behind you. And then Raja Hari Singh signed it. Clear, people? 1950, we decided for a fourfold classification. How to administer the territories. Fourfold classification. Part A, Part B, Part C, Part D. Part A consisted of governors' provinces. Part B consisted of 9 princely states with legislature. Part C consisted of 10 centrally administered chief commissioners provinces of British India and princely states. Part D alone had Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So governor's province, princely states with legislature, then chief commissioner's province, then Andaman and Nicobar, 1950. Later, Dhar Commission and JVP committee was set up. There was a demand for linguistic reorganization, especially from South India. All right, so linguistic reorganization, that is, reorganize the states based on language. 1948, Linguistic Provinces Commission under Dhar was set up, which came to be known as the Dhar Commission. Generally, a commission is named after the chairman. That is why you call it Dhar Commission. Recommended reorganization on the basis of administrative convenience rather than language. That means Dhar Commission rejected linguistic reorganization. This was not liked by the people. It created a lot of resentment. And that is why in that same year, December 1948, the JVP committee was set up. JVP had Jawaharlal Nehru, Vallabhbhai Patel, and Pattabhi Siddharamaiah, but no chairman. They also rejected what? Linguistic reorganization. They were also not for it. Why? What could be the reason? You must understand one thing, language is very closely associated with culture. So when people of a single language come together in a region, and this is in 1950 also, there is a chance that they may say, okay, all of us are here who can speak the same language. Why should be under India? Let us try to fight for our independence. Getting the point? So that risk factor was there. So that is the primary, or that could have been the primary reason why both the Dhar Commission and JVP committee told no. No linguistic reorganization. Clear, people? Moving on. However, in 1953, Andhra Pradesh became the first state to be reorganized on the basis of language. Separated Telugu-speaking areas from Madras. Potti Sriramalu took a fast unto death, and he fought for a separate state on the basis of language. And he died in the process, which triggered similar movements or similar claims for language-based reorganization. Andhra Pradesh was the first, and it soon demands started emerging out from other parts. Government had no other choice other than appoint the next commission, the Fazal Ali Commission. Clear, people? So, after creation of Andhra, other demands, such demands also arose. Fazal Ali Commission and two other members also, K.M. Panikkar and H.N. Kunzru. 1955, they accepted language for reorganization. Commission also accepted. Rejected, however, one language, one state. Getting the point? That is the most important thing here. One language, one state was completely rejected. That is okay. We'll consider one as an official language, but not that only one language will be there in that one particular state. No other languages will be allowed. No. Primary consideration redrawing the political units, unity of India. That is the main thing. That is, unity of India should not be hampered with. Four major factors for reorganization: preservation and strengthening the unity and security of the country, linguistic and cultural homogeneity, financial, economic and administrative considerations, planning and promotion of the welfare of the people in each stage as well as of the nation as a whole. So as you can clearly see, the primary importance here is given for what? Welfare, unity, security, integrity, all of that. And cultural homogeneity, because I told you, language is closely associated with culture. And it led to the abolish fourfold classification. Which one is the fourfold classification? A, Part B, Part C, Part D. And what did it lead to? It led to the creation of 16 states and 3 centrally administered territories by States Reorganization Act 1956 and the 7th Constitutional Amendment Act, Distinction between Part A and Part B was done away with. Part C was abolished. Difference between Part A and Part B, that is what is under governor, what is under the princes, the difference was taken out. Part C was completely abolished. By November 1, 1956, there were 14 states and 6 union territories. Taking it further forward, the States Reorganization Act established new state of Kerala by merging Travancore Cochin state with the Malabar district of Madras state and Kasargod of South Canara, that is Dakshin Kannada, Karnataka basically. All right. So Kerala was formed by what? Travancore state, which is again in the state of Kerala only. Then taking Malabar from Madras, Kasargod from Karnataka. Uniting it all, Kerala state was created. Merged Telugu areas of Hyderabad state with Andhra to create Andhra Pradesh. Madhya Bharat, Vindhya Pradesh and Bhopal were united together to get Madhya Pradesh. Madhya, Vindhya, Bhopal. Saurashtra plus Kutch into Bombay state. Coorg was merged with Mysore. Patiala plus East Punjab, Pepsu region, merged into Punjab. Ajmer was merged into Rajasthan. New union territories of Lakshadweep, Minicoy and Amindivi islands from the territory detached from Madras state. These are basically our Lakshadweep islands. So it was part of what? Madras initially. These things, just keep reading it. That is all I would say. So Travancore plus Malabar from Madras plus Kasargod from Karnataka, you get Kerala. Telugu speaking states of Hyderabad merged together to get Andhra. Madhya, Vindhya, Bhopal, you get Madhya Pradesh. Saurashtra plus Kutch merged into Bombay. Coorg was merged into Mysore. Patiala plus East Punjab, you get merged into Punjab again. Ajmer was merged into Rajasthan. New union territories of Lakshadweep, Minicoy and Amindivi was separated out from the Madras state. Clear? And made a union territory. So new states and union territories that were created after 1956. Let us look into that. From the Bombay state, you basically split what? Maharashtra and Gujarat in 1960. Dadra and Nagar Haveli. It was under the Portuguese till 1954. Till 1961, administration was carried out by administrator chosen by people. It was converted into union territory by the 10th constitutional amendment in 1961. It was merged with Daman and Diu in 2020 by the Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu Merger of Union Territories Act 2019. Clear? So this is where we are talking about merging two regions and creating one territory. Goa, Daman and Diu. Again, it was acquired from Portuguese in 1961 through police action. So Goa was under Portuguese and they were not ready to give freedom to the people. Through police action as well as with the local support, we were able to liberate Goa. And it was a union territory by the 12th Constitutional Amendment. 1987, statehood was given for Goa. Then Daman and Diu became a separate union territory. Puducherry. It was a French establishments in Puducherry, Karaikal, Mahi and Yanam. Again, because we know there were many European powers that tried to come here and colonize India, but England, or rather English, became the most successful in it. So French too had its colonies here in Puducherry, Karaikal, Mahi and Yanam. French handed it over to India in 1954. It was administered as an acquired territory till 1962 and it became a union territory by the 14th Constitutional Amendment. Nagaland, 1963. Taking Naga Hills and Tuensang area out of Assam, that is a 6th schedule, placed under control of governor in 1961 and became the 16th state. So the Tuensang area, what we are talking about, that is basically a scheduled area under the 6th schedule. So these two areas were united together and you got out of it what? The Nagaland region. Haryana, Chandigarh and Himachal Pradesh. 1966 Punjab bifurcated into Haryana, 17th state and Union Territory Chandigarh. So before we move on, why not a quick revision very quickly? So the quick revision would be Maharashtra and Gujarat separated. Dadra and Nagar, that was in 1960. All right. Then Dadra and Nagar Haveli converted into Union Territory by 1961, merged with Daman and Diu, and it became a single Union Territory by 2019. Liberated from the Portuguese in 1954. So 1960, Maharashtra and Gujarat. Dadra and Nagar Haveli, 1961. Goa, Daman and Diu, again liberated by police action. 1961 is the same year. It was a union territory, but statehood was given in the year 1987. Then Puducherry, French colony again, handed over to India in the year 1954. Administered as acquired territory till 1962, became a union territory. Nagaland in the year 1963. 1963, Naga Hills and Tuensang area. Haryana, Chandigarh and Himachal Pradesh, 1966, Punjab, bifurcated into Haryana and Chandigarh. Clear? Now let us move on. So, as we have already seen, 1966, Punjab was bifurcated into Punjab, Haryana and the Union Territory of Chandigarh under the recommendations of the Shah Commission. But it didn't stop there. Punjab became a unilingual state, Haryana the Hindi-speaking region, and then the hilly regions of that area was added to the Union Territory of Himachal Pradesh, which got statehood in the year 1971. Coming to the next list, Manipur, Tripura and Meghalaya received statehood again in 1972. Statehood for Union Territory of Manipur, Tripura and substate for Meghalaya. Originally they were known as NEFA. Union Territory of Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh came into being, formed out of Assam. Then Sikkim. Sikkim was actually a protectorate of India. And by the 1974 year, the 35th Constitution Amendment made it an associate state, which added a new Article 2A and then a new Schedule 10. We have already visited Schedule 10 in our earlier chapter, which is to do with anti-defection. So some of you might be wondering, but there we didn't see anything about Sikkim. The reason is only this much. This was later removed. Let us look into that real fast. 1975, a referendum was put up for abolition of the Chogyal and Sikkim becoming an integral part of India. That is, this protectorate system also, where they were under India or protectorate of India, it was still ruled by the Chogyal dynasty and people were tired of it. People were fed up with the Chogyals ruling there and they basically gave a referendum telling that, let us join India completely. And the 36th Constitutional Amendment made Sikkim the 22nd state, which amended the first and the fourth article, added a new article, Article 371F, and repealed Article 2A and the 10th schedule. Getting the point here? Instead of 2A, so Sikkim was initially under part of 2A and the 10th schedule, but that was taken out. Now it was made part of Article 371F. And 2A and 10th schedule both were repealed. Getting the point? 10th schedule years later was brought back again for the anti-defection provision. Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh and Goa, all three in 1987 got statehood. Background of Goa, we know, Portuguese police action. Mizoram, after signing Memorandum of Settlement, Mizoram Peace Accord, ending the 2-decade insurgency under the Mizo National Front. Getting the point here? Under the Mizo National Front, this was stopped. So Mizo National Front, the thing is, the background I'll tell you in a very quick way. That is, bamboo harvest took place in Mizoram. And when bamboo started blooming, what happened was that, blossoming basically, rat population also increased. Because it's a nice environment. And the rats actually affected the agricultural productivity. This led to a famine-like condition there. people got angry, people got irritated, and they formed the Mizo National Front. What started off as an initial protest because of the lack of support from the government of India, etc., pretty soon became an insurgent movement that enough, we want to get independence. Once the problems were sorted out and, the Mizo peace accord was signed, statehood also was given to it. Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand and Jharkhand in the year 2000 from MP, UP and Bihar respectively, becoming the 26th, 27th and 28th state from MP, Chhattisgarh, from UP, Uttarakhand, from Bihar, Jharkhand. Telangana was formed in 2014. The reason for formation of Telangana was the demand from the section of people within Andhra Pradesh, largely because of the underdevelopment, the years of underdevelopment that was prevalent in that area. Getting the point here, that is, that area was constantly being neglected by the many subsequent state governments, as a result of which the people there wanted a separate state, and it was allocated in the year 2014. Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, 2019 by presidential order, which we have already seen that the state of Jammu and Kashmir was basically bifurcated. By the Reorganization Act, bifurcation into 2 union territories. Kargil and Leh districts were added to the union territory of Ladakh. 1956, we had 14 states and 6 union territories. 2024, 28 states and 8 union territories. 1950, United Provinces became UP. 1969, Madras became Tamil Nadu. 1973, Mysore became Karnataka. 1973, Lakshadweep, Minicoy and Amindivi became Lakshadweep. 1992, Union Territory of Delhi became National Capital Territory by the 69th Constitutional Amendment. 2006, Uttaranchal became Uttarakhand. 2006 again, Pondicherry became Puducherry. 2011, Odisha became Odisha. So with that, we come to an end of our discussion. With that, this chapter has also been wound up. Let me tell you, just go through it again and again. Don't try to by heart it in a single go, because I will write and give it to you, you will forget it. So just revisit it occasionally. Importance, if you actually see, only one question can come from here. That is, when was it formed, or probably what was the background to it, the commission names, what were the recommendations of various commissions. That's it. Beyond that, don't try to invest too much time in this chapter. Clear? Even if you do this chapter towards the last end also, it won't be a problem. Clear, people? So with that, we can wind this up. Once again, this is my Telegram channel, people. Any queries or any doubts that you have, you can log in here. All right. So any further suggestions or recommendations that you would like to put up, please put it in the comment section or in the Telegram channel. Thank you.